Let's pick up now on one of those headline stories, because Gatwick Airport has announced that it will limit the number of flights it operates during the summer holiday season. And that's due to the continuing shortages of staff among ground handlers and airlines. Britain's second largest airport says the move will allow airlines and passengers to plan in advance and avoid last-minute cancellations. Well, joining me now to talk about this is Julia Lo Bue-Said, CEO of the Advantage Travel Partnership, and that is the largest independent travel agent group in the UK. Julia, good to have you with us this morning. And of course, nobody wants to get a last-minute cancellation. That really is the worst possible option, isn't it? But what do you make of this move by Gatwick Airport at this point?
Good morning, and you're absolutely right. Nobody wants last-minute cancellations or cancellations full stop. And what this really now does, it provides a pragmatic approach and a solution to some of the issues we saw in the busy May Jubilee bank holiday. Certainty is what we all need, and what we've desperately tried to do now in rebuilding the industry is making sure we can give some certainty back to customers.
OK, so certainty is good, of course, for customers. It's good for everyone working in the travel industry. So if people have already booked holidays, do we have any idea when they might find out if their flight has been affected by or will be affected by this decision from Gatwick?
What we've seen up until now, because we have had some flight cancelled pre-departure, so a number of the airlines have taken a very similar approach right the way through the last few weeks and cancelled flights before customers depart. So what we're likely to see now is that's going to start to happen. Obviously, it doesn't affect every airline. Obviously, it's not every airport. So as when they look at their operations, we're likely to see, particularly where they have duplication of flights on a day, that they consolidate those flights as required.
OK, so hopefully people finding out if it does affect them, sooner rather than later. That's clearly the idea behind this. And do you think other airports will follow suit, Julia?
I think we have to wait and see. I think, there are clearly issues in the ecosystem that are affecting the operation at some of the airports. The vast majority of flights, the vast majority of airlines are operating their schedules as required. Clearly, that doesn't help you when you're caught up on a flight that's been cancelled. So hopefully this solution will give certainty. It's an approach that we do welcome. We think it's a really positive approach by Gatwick Airport. Enables my members and also the entire industry and consumers to feel really confident about the summer.
If there are fewer flights, will prices go up from here on?
Not necessarily. It is the peak season, so inevitably at any peak period we do see increases in flights. We've seen that customers are booking quite late in departures now, so around 12 weeks before departure. But as I say, inevitably when you're travelling school holidays, flight prices are always slightly higher, and there is clearly this year a real surge in demand.
So what would your advice be to anyone if they still haven't booked but they want to travel? What would you say to them?
My advice would be think about how you book, where you book. If you're booking through a travel agent, they are best placed to make sure they can show you the breadth of options available, and also on hand when something goes wrong to get you on the flight to the destination. Think about booking in advance, because unfortunately, as I said, if you're looking to travel in the peak months, it is going to be busy. There is a real pent-up demand. A lot of people haven't travelled for 3 years and are really desperate to get away.
OK, Julia, thank you very much for that. Julia Lo Bue-Said, CEO at the Advantage Travel Partnership.